I'm Lesley Logan. I'm here in my Pilates Haven, and this week, Andrea Maida and I are talking all about the 100. And maybe not all about it, but we're talking about what we like to talk about in the 100. And so, the 100 is like this exercise that starts you off, and it also is probably the least enjoyed exercise. I'm not really sure why. It is really hard, and if you do it at the beginning of a workout, it is the warm-up, but it seems like a shock to the system. It kind of feels like, especially to my 6:30 a.m. client, that I just dropped him in a bathtub of cold water. I was like, okay, don't drown, right? Because it's just like, whoa, what a way to wake the body up. But in the other side of that is, what a way to wake the body up. Like, it just puts everything together. And so one of the things you have to think about is what the 100 is trying to do. So when the arms pump, let me just show what the 100 is. When the arms are pumping, right, their pumps are meant to like destabilize your transverse abdominis. So when I am doing the 100, or if my clients are doing the 100, I'm looking to see if their stomach goes in and out, or if it can stay still, right? Is their head bouncing with their arms? Are they doing one over the other? When I see people in class like this, it's very weird, because you can't, unless you only have one arm, you should be pumping both arms evenly. And the pumping of the arms comes from the back, so it really helps wake the back up. But because it's going in and out, if your abdominals are not, if you're not into your powerhouse, and it's not just the abdominals, I shouldn't just say that, but the whole back connection, stomach connection, hip connection, if that's not all working for you, then you're gonna see a lot of movement in the body. And what I wanna see is almost like a really long canoe, like the longest round shape, right, or a really long taut hammock. And if I couldn't see your arms, it would just be still, and I would just see a body that's breathing and like being there. But there's so much working, and so then when you're done with the 100, you literally are ready to do the roll-up. I could not do the roll-up if I hadn't done the 100, because I haven't challenged my breath, I haven't challenged my seat, I don't have my inner thighs warmed up. So the 100 takes a good minute of your time. I don't know that you can breathe in for 5 and out for 5 in 30 seconds, but maybe you can. I just feel like you kind of would be hyperventilating. So it's a solid minute. And there's other ways to do it. You don't have to lift your legs up. So one of the things, I was taught that you always bring the knees into the chest and you send them away. But I really do love making people always do it with their legs down until one day they can lift their legs up. And you might wonder, well, when do I get to lift my legs up? Well, they kind of will tell you. They'll kind of just lift up. Because when they do it from the body, it's pretty effortless. It's effortless effort. So that's something to think about. So if you are suffering from back stuff, or you're new to Pilates and you just aren't able to just lift your legs up without like jerking your body around, keep it all together. Lift your head and chest and just pump here and just work on squeezing the legs together, right? You can get this to work. I mean, the legs will just float right up. It's kind of cool. So you can always start with one leg, then the other leg, and then both legs. Because when the legs work correctly, they're being supported from your seat and your stomach. It's not hip flexors that are going to pull on your lower back. Really awesome places you can do the 100 is against a wall, standing up. I like to give this to a lot of my clients who work at a desk. Just go up against a wall, right? Your feet can be a little bit away from the wall, but your seat through your back and your head is against the wall, and then you pump your arms and you try to keep your whole body against the wall. If it keeps coming on and off, you don't have connection to your powerhouse, your core, and you want that. So it's a really good place to challenge it without letting gravity help you. So I would love to hear where you like to do the 100. You can do the 100 anywhere. You can do it on the top of your window chair. You can do it on the top of a ladder barrel. You can do it on the top of a moon box, which makes it really hard. You can do it on a Cadillac with arm springs or the rollback bar. And obviously you could do it on the reformer. And when you do it on the reformer, if the carriage is moving, this is not connected. This is not connected. So there's always signs. Like, use your 100 to kind of be an investigative place of where you need to go in your practice that day. So if when you do your 100, it feels really hard to breathe, then focus on breath. If in your 100 it feels like it's like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you just can't get your chest up, then really focus on opening up your thoracic spine and connecting to your back. If it's really hard for you to get those legs to stay together or work together and be out of your hip flexors, then you got to focus on your seat. So the 100 is a really awesome way to tell your body, have your body tell your mind what you should focus on in today's practice. So don't skip it. Find something to love about it. It's not going away, and it's super necessary. For way more tips on the 100, I'm sure Andrea Maida over at her blog and her Pilates channel here on YouTube, Andrea Maida Pilates, has a ton of tips on the 100 for you. I can't wait to watch them. So go over, check hers out, compare notes, and then tell us what you really like. Stay tuned for next week's collaboration because we are excited about it too.